All right, welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a while. We actually kind of made a spontaneous trip down to Fort Myers. Was supposed to be there for like, 2-3 days?
Yeah.
Ended up being there for like a week. We love it down there.
Yeah.
We went to school down there, both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a great time. But
It's
we're
beautiful.
back. It is beautiful.
We had to say like extra long, and that's the perks about working from your phone.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
actually, had a lot of momentum going down there because we have a lot of people that we work with down there. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell them what we're going to be talking about today.
We're really excited. I'm personally really excited about this topic. Sure. I think this is something that I have really wanted to know about other people, and I think it's just great for us to share our perspectives about this.
I agree.
So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to do our top 6 self-limiting beliefs that we had to get over this year.
Well, yeah, 3 from me and 3 from her. I mean, but
yeah,
you'll see we kind of have similar ones. I feel like a lot of people have similar ones.
That's why.
Like you said, it's going to be cool to just share this with people because, like you said, like on the last video, people always just share like the highs, like the highlights. But sharing, your limiting your beliefs, things that have been holding you back.
Mm-hmm. It's scary, but it almost gives you a different kind of strength, because you're like, if I can overcome my self-limiting beliefs and talk about them openly and hopefully help other people with their self-limiting beliefs, then I can do anything, like nothing stops you because you can overcome whatever you want to. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yep.
We're really excited and let's get it. You want to start?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start.
All right.
We wrote them down for you guys. So.
Yeah, our notes, just don't mind us.
Yeah, so the first one for me, it was that like you have to be like book smart. You have to have an education. You have to have a degree to have huge success. That's one thing. Being a college dropout. A lot of people may not know this, but I actually dropped out of school after my first semester. I'm not gonna go too much into that, but that's a belief that I had. Everyone around me was still going to school. Everybody around me was getting their degree, and I just had that belief that if I didn't have my degree, I couldn't have the success I was seeking. But I found out differently. I mean, we're not where we want to be. We're still on that journey.
Yes.
But I realized that I could have success and momentum and start a business and do these things that I want to do without having a degree, without having that book smart, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it, education.
And I honestly think a lot of that, like overcoming, had to do with all the resources too that we had, which
Definitely.
I'm sure you'll touch on more. But like YouTube, for example, this is such a great resource
YouTube
for
University.
us, especially people who want to start businesses and be entrepreneurs. I mean, a lot of us don't necessarily need college. Hate to say it, but not really. A lot of people who want to start their own businesses can find resources outside of college that will help them a lot more than even resources inside
100%.
College. But our whole life, that's just what we've been told, that we need to go to school. You go to school, you get a degree, and you're smart, and then you're good. But not always the case. So I love that. That's something that you've been able to get over, because same with me. I think that's something I've had to really get over
True, definitely.
a lot recently.
Yeah, I mean, like kind of what you said, it's just like, it's all about finding a vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. School can definitely be that vehicle, 100%. But it doesn't have to be that vehicle. I've realized that there's so many different vehicles that I can ride to get me to where I want to go. And
True.
I just found the vehicle that I'm riding with, and it's been
awesome.
a crazy journey. It's been awesome, yeah.
And you've been doing great at it.
Yeah,
so that is
really
something.
well.
So what's your new belief instead of
My
that
new belief is there's vehicles out there for anybody to ride.
Love it.
To get you to that next destination in life. Just find that vehicle, whatever it may be, and work hard.
Yep.
Find
the one that works for you with your personality,
Yep.
and go for it.
Yep, exactly. And
awesome.
You can do it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one. All right, next. Okay, my first self-limiting belief that I had to get over this year was only a select few people can make it to the top. And I think that stemmed a lot from comparisonitis. And I guess that,
Is that a real word?
It's a real word now, baby. And it is something that it honestly just comes from a sense of lack and self-consciousness and just self-doubt, I think. I used to think that if someone else made it to the top, it was a lot harder for me to make it to the top because the market was oversaturated up there. And I also used to think that if someone came up with an idea that maybe I had, or it was, I don't know, something I thought about doing, and then they acted on it first, and they started that business or they started that club or whatever they wanted to do, that I couldn't do that as well because now they did it. But that's just not true. Like, there is seriously room for everyone at the top. And what I've found even more than ever now is that the most successful people are the people who bring others to the top with them. So that is something that I've really been trying to do as well. Like, instead of worrying so much about me getting to the top and comparing to everyone else who's at the top, why don't I just give value to everyone around me and help them get to the top? And I feel like if I help them get to the top, by default, I'll get up there. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the new belief that I have is that simply everyone can be at the top. Like, we all have unique perspectives. Like, even if we both came up with the same idea, like say we both had the same idea for a YouTube channel, or we had the same idea for a business, like your business would be so different than mine because we have such unique perspectives that are not the same at all. And I have people that will relate to me way more than they'll relate to Mitch and vice versa. So that is something that I really had to get over, and just comparing is the devil. Like, definitely the devil.
But at the same time, you know, I think competition is healthy.
Oh, for sure. It's just taking it to heart, you know.
For sure.
Use friendly competition as a driver, but if you are actively using it to compare to your success and making you feel less because of someone else's success, then that's wrong.
I agree. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we moving up in the world.
For sure. We all can have it. We all can make it to the top.
Definitely.
All right, so my second one this is a big one for me. She actually pointed it out. We talked about it the other day, and is that you have to work hard. Not only hard, but you have to put in a lot of time to have a lot of success, basically.
Like financial freedom,
you know, whatever, time freedom, that you have to put in a lot of time to receive those things. But you know, one thing that I realize is that it's really not, I mean, yes, you got to put in some time, but it's really just like compressing those time frames and being present. She talks about all the time, being present within those time frames. So if I schedule out the time that I'm gonna work, I can actually work less hours if I'm present on what I'm doing. So that way, because everyone is busy. You ask people, yo, what are you doing today? Yo, I'm super busy. But at the end of the day, if you ask what'd you get done today, a lot of people are just busy. They're not productive. And I realize that if I'm productive with the time that I have, I don't have to be putting in all these hours to have the success that I want.
Correct. And especially now with our technology these days, I mean, everyone always says work smarter, not harder. And that's honestly so true. Like, you don't have to work your ass off anymore. You don't have to go put in 10 hours a day laboring. Like, you can be at home sitting on your ass making money. Like, I mean, it's going to take work and creativity, and you're going to have to grind and be consistent, but it's doable. So if you believe that's doable for you, then it will be.
Exactly. Just like the whole, you know, we don't get paid for time. We get paid for value that we bring. So you don't have to, you know, spend all this time to make more money or to become more valuable. Just provide value to more people, and everything else will follow. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's actually the most perfect segue into my next self-limiting belief.
Let's get it.
And it is my next self-limiting belief that I had to get over was, it is selfish to want a lot of money or a lot of things or living that good lavish life. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I was raised. I feel like, I mean, personally,
your surrounding is, your environment's everything.
Yeah. So. I mean, personally, my family comes from like immigrants. Like, we're not, I'm second generation American. My mom's first generation American. So I feel like we didn't have a lot in our family. So I think those beliefs have been passed down, and it was almost like just enough is good enough. You know, like wanting more than just enough, that's just greedy, you know, and that is just so not the case at all. How do you expect to get the things you want if you don't allow yourself to think about them or to want them? Like, it is okay. And that it all goes back to what you said. Money is not some disgusting root of all evil type thing. It is a valuable exchange between two people, and the more value that you give to others, the more money you will receive. So if you look at it that way, as a direct like line of, hey, I received this much money because I give out this much value, then that makes it feel so much better. You know, it makes you not have to stress about if it's, it's a tool. Like, you're not stressing if it's good or bad or anything whatsoever. Like, you're totally okay with the fact that you're receiving all this money because you know that is only because you've given out so much value and helped so many other people.
For sure.
So
that's a big one for me too.
So here's my new belief. The money I earned is showing the value I've created for others.
I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my next one. And then also, I want you guys, like, this is just like a follow-up thing, but self-limiting beliefs about money are honestly the biggest self-limiting beliefs, I think, in our generation, in America, whatever, in our communities. I think that's a huge one. So if you want to find out what your self-limiting beliefs are, I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions, and they're about money. So the first one is, I am not financially free because of blank. So figure out what that is. The second one is, I'd love to have more money, but blank.
Excuse. I meant what? Sorry. No, but I mean.
Fill an excuse there. Honestly, though. So just think about those 2 questions and you'll be able to find your self-limiting beliefs about money.
Definitely.
Because mine were not good. All right. Let's hear it. Next one.
Last one. All right. But
last one for you.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to bounce off of what you said. Yeah, because I was big in that. Like, I'm very... and I know a lot of people that are like me. I actually had to talk with one of my business partners, Romeo, down in Fort Myers about it because he was just talking to somebody and I was like, yo, like, you're just like me. And, like, I'm very comfortable with very little, right? I don't need a lot to survive. I don't need a lot to feel loved or whatever the case may be. So I used to feel like wanting certain things was bad.
Right.
Like on a subconscious level, not like, you know, I didn't really realize it.
Right.
But I realized that, yo, look, like the people that have massive amount of success, the millionaires, billionaires of the world, they don't need these things, but they want it. And there's really nothing wrong with wanting something.
Yes. There isn't. Why?
That's what I realized. Like, if you want something, go get it.
There's a reason. Like, there's a reason it's inside of you and you're called to it. It's because, like, you're allowed to have it, you know? So allow yourself to have it.
Exactly. So I've been just allowing myself to, you know, want the things that I want and just be okay with that. And it's really helped. Just not.
It honestly
not
helps you stress. It helps you stress about money 37 million times less.
Definitely. I agree. Definitely.
37 million.
30, that's a lot.
To be exact.
All right, so my last one is, this is a big one too, is I have no resources or I don't know where to start.
I like that.
Because, like I said, college dropout. What am I supposed to do? Like, I was just working in the restaurant industry, no idea where to begin. I have no resources. I didn't have the people around me that had the results that I wanted. Wow, someone is booming driving by. I don't know if you guys can hear the bass.
My whole house is literally shaking.
But the whole house is shaking right now.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Anyways, yeah, so I mean, I realized, like, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great type of mentality. Like, the best of the best, like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, if you want to look at it from like a sports perspective, they weren't the best to start. They honestly, Michael Jordan got cut from his team. Like, they had their failures, but they put in the work and they did what they needed to do to be great. And I realized that it doesn't matter if you don't know where to start. You just have to start.
Exactly. And that's the fastest way. Imperfect action. I told my friends that all the time.
Yeah,
that is the fastest way to figure out if something is good for you or not. And you can't just sit there and expect to plan 24/7 and know if something's good for you unless you take that action and just start doing something.
Exactly.
And with today, like in today's age, they're like, talk about resources, how many there are. Like,
so many.
like we have the internet, guys. Like the internet, that is a resource in itself. And there's companies and people, like both of us have joined with people and companies that were already established and allowed us to get resources from them. So it's like us, we're not even having to reinvent the wheel. Like 100%. We're getting it from other people. We're leveraging other people. It's so awesome. So yeah. What are you showing?
My favorite type of resource is right here.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I just realized with books that I feel like a lot of people don't realize is that there's books out there. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Let's say you want to become, I don't know, give me an example.
An astronaut.
An astronaut. Okay, I guarantee you there's somebody out there who spent 50 plus years becoming an astronaut, studying the ins and outs and everything you need to do to become an astronaut or to have success in that field, or, you know, so you know what to do and what not to do. And I guarantee you they put it in a book somewhere that costs $9.99 that you just need to go pick it up and read it and just cut your learning curve in half. Like the research, Tony Robbins says it best. It's not the lack of resources, it's the lack of resourcefulness.
Woo!
Tony Robbins, the God. But yeah, I mean, it's just so true. And I realized that, like, it's out there. Just go find it.
Oh, I love that one. That's a great self-limiting belief to get over.
Definitely.
That kind of goes into mine, but you talked about one earlier that kind of goes into my next one too. So this is my last self-limiting belief that I have to get over. It's I don't have enough time / I'm busy.
I'm busy.
For example, busy. Saying literally like makes me cringe.
We all have 24 hours. That's all I gotta say.
Yes. And honestly, I don't know. When I find myself saying the word I'm busy, I stop myself in my tracks. I just don't even put that word in my vocabulary anymore because it's really just not true. It's not about how busy you are or how much time you have. It's where you put your priority and where your priorities lie. We all have 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
24 hours. What's the difference between me and Kim Kardashian, who does a million things every freaking day, has 600 businesses that she's running, and has 3 kids, and is married to Kanye, which I'm sure is, you know,
a lot
in its own. Yes. So what is the difference between me and her? And I think a lot of the times
the difference is what you do with the time that you think you don't have.
Ooh, I like that. For example, sleeping.
You're driving. What are you doing while you're driving?
Ooh.
Are you growing?
Right. That's a good one.
Are you learning?
Yeah. Even the gym, like
the gym.
If you're going to the gym, like you can be learning at the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's find the time if you really want to make something a priority for you. For example, your future, or maybe you really want to start that business, but you're in this corporate job and you just don't have enough time because once you get home from work at 5 o'clock, then you have to take care of your kids, whatever. But think about how expensive it is to not take an hour a day to focus on your future. Really think about that. Because what you do today, just an hour a day, find an extra 1 hour, okay? Cut back on what?
Sleep.
Cut back on.
That's the biggest.
No, for me, the biggest is Netflix.
Oh.
Because
your YouTube maybe.
Yeah, for me, YouTube. Like, I love
James
YouTube.
Charles. Kim K.
Anyway, YouTube and Keeping Up with the Kardashians are my hardest. But yeah, think about where you find what you find yourself doing during the day, and maybe cut back a couple of things like watching TV or Netflix or something like that. Even about reading books that aren't helping you grow. Like, to be honest, like that is just distracting yourself even more. I'm not saying don't give yourself time to do the things that you love, but don't make an excuse that you don't have enough time if you're just wasting time doing nothing.
Exactly. I agree. I mean, you definitely want, everybody needs that time to relax. Everyone needs that time to Netflix and chill. Everybody needs whatever.
Right.
But you can't ever say the time excuse if you're spending too much time doing the things that you shouldn't be doing.
Correct.
Or not shouldn't be doing, but spending too much time on the things that aren't getting you to where you want to get to.
Yeah. So I encourage everyone for that to literally just live your daily life. And just one day, track it. Just for a whole day, write down everything you did that day and how many hours that you did each thing. Girl, I did that and I was disgusted.
Yeah, there's a study on it. I forget where the study was or the exact numbers, so don't hold me accountable to that. But there's a study where this boss did like this thing where people would like turn on like a stopwatch every time they were actually working on productive work. And at the end of the day, they tallied up everybody's time that they worked versus the time they were actually at work. And the average was that the average employee spent about, it was like 40 minutes a day on productive work on an 8-hour shift.
I think actually that was in 12 a week year. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know where I got it from, but I think Darren Hardy talks about it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, go look up the study and you'll see it. It's pretty crazy that you're just not, like I said in my second one, the working hard. Like you have to work hard. No, like just be productive with
and be aware. Just be aware. Yeah, like. Mm-hmm. Are you easily distracted by something? What triggers you to be distracted? How long can you go for yourself? How long can you work without getting distracted? Yep. Because maybe you need to do more little increments of time throughout the day instead of really big chunks. Personally, I am so ADD. That's what I need to do. I found a way that like
it's good to do that.
Yeah, I like to do 15 minutes at a time. I think that's great. Of going hard work, maybe 30 minutes at a time, going hard work, and then taking a little break and doing the next thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. You'll see how productive you are if you actually just listen to yourself and think about what works for you instead of like what you think should work,
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we get so caught up in that. Like, it should be this way, so we have to do it this way. But no, like stop, think, does this even work for you? No. Like do something else.
True.
There's nothing stopping you from doing it. It's your life.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that was our top 6, my top 3, her top 3. I know we kind of got similar ones, but we would love to hear your guys' self-limiting beliefs.
Please,
so if you want to share it with us, leave it in the comments.
Yes.
If you want to keep it more personal, DM us, message us. We would love to just connect and kind of see how you can maybe help us and how we can kind of help you.
Talk through some of those things. Yeah. My biggest advice, last thing I'll end on this, is just always be growing and developing your mind. Even when you think that you have done enough, you haven't. And don't be afraid to listen to things over and over and over again, because you never know what you're going to pick up the second or the third or the fourth time that is different from the first time. So keep growing, and I hope that everyone honestly has an amazing week and we continue to just be self-aware and pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone.
Absolutely. And we are back. I don't think we're going on any trips in the next week, maybe. I don't
Not
know.
till Alaska.
Yeah, so there'll be another video coming out pretty soon in the next couple of days. So be prepared for that. But we're going to leave it at that, guys. Hope you have a great day, like she said, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye. We'll have a cool sign off one day.